In your Health Watch this morning, the Fox medical team is learning more about a bombshell first-of-its-kind study that has now been revealed, and it shares that vaping is more dangerous than smoking cigarettes, and it raises the risk of 3 deadly diseases. So researchers say regularly using e-cigs could put users at risk of dementia, heart disease, as well as organ failure.
So here to talk a little bit more about this, break it all down, is Fox Medical Team's Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike, how are e-cigs more dangerous than cigarettes?
Well, you know, part of my job, in addition to seeing patients 14 hours a day, is to look at the data, look at the literature. In fact, I teach medical students, in God we trust, and everyone else, show me the data. And so this study has created not only, it's created a vortex, if you will, of controversy, because one, it looked at 20 patients who vaped, 20 patients who smoked, and 20 who didn't do either. And it's not published yet. And so it has created an uproar throughout the globe. And what I wanted to bring up, because I think it's a topic that we all need to discuss, is what to do. What's the right thing? So this study indicated that vaping may cause damage to the arteries. You mentioned dementia. The problem is, we don't know if the people that were vaping smoked before that. So that's one issue. The other issue is, if you look at the mass amount of literature, we don't have any literature on long-term effects of vaping. So here's the Dr. Mike advice I'm going to give everyone. If you smoke, you need to stop, because it's going to kill you. All right? You can't smoke and expect to live a long life. Now, you could say, well, Uncle Joe smoked and he died at 92. That's not the way, because for every Uncle Joe, there's a whole bunch of people not doing well and not here anymore. So if you want to stop smoking, the majority of experts say try things like nicotine replacement. There's gum and there's patches. You could also use things like bupropion, which is a drug for stopping smoking, or Chantix. The experts do say, look, if you fail all of those, you might try e-cigarettes. There's no question that cigarette smoke has about 4,000 carcinogens in it. E-cigarettes should not be considered ultimately safe, however, because there are chemicals there and they have nicotine. And so if you're pregnant, forget it. If you're a child or adolescent, a lot of people are very nervous about young people getting on e-cigarettes because of the addiction potential and all of that. So that's the bottom line there. You want to work on getting nothing. I'm just going to show you Bob's lungs. Look how beautiful they are, nice and pink, right?
Yes.
You don't want to put stuff in there that's going to harm those beautiful lungs, and you don't want to be dancing at your daughter or your granddaughter's wedding with an oxygen tank in tow. You don't want to do that.
Well, and I'm glad you brought up the young people thing, because you look at the e-cigs and the vapes these days, and sometimes they're as small as, like, you know, like they can fit into a computer type thing, like a small USB. They kind of sneak it in sometimes.
Well, nicotine is nothing to play with. It's very addictive. And you can talk to anyone who has been a smoker or exposed to nicotine long term. It's not good. And so you don't want to put chemicals in your body. You just don't want to do it. And especially in these beautiful organs called lungs, because it can cause all kinds of problems. You don't want to do that.
And look at Bob.
Yeah, Bob is healthy. We want to look like Bob. Thank you, Dr. Mike. Appreciate it. Great information.
He spills his guts for us all the time.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you, Dr. Mike. Thank you. Have a great day.